up? I'm Jeff. I play guitar in the band.
Hey, I'm David, and I play bass and sing back vocal.
I'm Pierre, and I sing. I sing vocals.
I'm Sebastian, and I play guitar and sing back vocals as well. Hello, I'm Chuck, and I play drums.
In less than 5 years, Canadian five-piece Simple Plan have gone from label rejects to multi-platinum recording artists. They've toured the world, graced the stage with some of their heroes, won awards, scored a TV show, starred in films, created a successful clothing line, and hell, they even have their own Simple Plan branded credit card.
I was really playing air guitar from the start, really. I still do, actually. But
I think in our young age, everybody kind of, grabs a tennis racket and strums it like a rock star, and I think that's probably when it starts. But we all started playing in bands probably we were like 12, 13, 14. I think that's when we all basically started.
Exactly.
But I think we wanted it from
a long time
earlier than that, for sure.
But of course, all this didn't come easy. Starting out at a young age had its consequences, and the band struggled to adapt to the recording process and quickly learned that the media hate you just as much as they love you. They helped pave the way for a new generation of pop-punk bands and at the same time opened the door to a slather of criticism. And before they'd even begun, they were almost over.
When we were making our first record, actually before
And no one understands you?
and no label wanted to sign us. There was a long time where we were like supposed to get signed by this label, and then after like 3 months of us like, all right, we're getting signed. They're like, changed our mind.
No, we're not going to say.
And then we were like, oh my God, like everybody didn't want to sign us. We were pretty depressed about the whole thing.
But with a lot of hard work, perseverance and honesty, not to mention a good sense of humour, the boys from Simple Plan managed to make their mark on the music scene. And they have the album sales and fans to prove it.
You gotta understand, everything that happens that you see with this band or you hear with this band comes from the band, We're really involved in everything. All of it. We try to portray a very honest and very, a true picture of who we are.
Do you ever feel out of place?
The Simple Plan story actually begins with another band, Reset, a punk band formed by drummer Chuck and vocalist Pierre when they were just 13 years old. Reset had modest success in Canada with support slots for bands such as Face to Face and MXPX.
We all met in high school. We all grew up together. We all went to the same school. We formed a band together.
We did, and we sucked.
Yeah, we really sucked. We were playing instrumental with no vocals. It was horrible. And then we actually got decent, somewhat. And that band kept going. While we were doing that, Jeff had a lot of bands going on. Sebastian had a band.
Tons of bands.
We would go to each other's shows and hang out, whatever. So we did all that in parallel. And then at some point, our band kind of fell apart. Reset fell apart. I left, and me and Jeff and Sebastian figured that why not start an all-star team of musicians from our high school? So then the three of us
picked the five
got
best
together, and then we were like, you know what? We need a star. We need a real singer.
Someone who shines, a looker, a singer, a real star.
They stole Pierre back from the other band.
So we took Pierre, we made him into a real lead singer.
Made me an offer I couldn't refuse.
Exactly. And then there was one element missing to our puzzle. That's right, sirs, gentlemen, ladies. David Desrosiers!
Down in the dark, to be kicked when you're down, to feel like you've been pushed around.
But after the demise of his first serious band, Pierre was feeling a little disillusioned about joining another band.
It wasn't really fun anymore because we were not getting
Because
along
there was
anymore.
a freak in your
There
other
was a
band.
freak in my other band that, we had a lot of fights, and it wasn't fun, and it was kind of ruining my life, and it wasn't making any money at all, and I was kind of just losing money being in a band and spending all my energy and time on it, and I was just like, you know what, I'm not really inspired anymore, and then, I went to see these guys, and
We inspired you.
well, not really, I just saw you sucked so bad you needed my help.
The band's lineup was now in place and they began recording demos. But the process of getting signed to a label and releasing a smash hit album wasn't as simple as they had planned. Get it?
Down in the dark.
First of all, getting signed doesn't mean crap, and second of all, no, it took a long time. We tried to get signed to a bunch of labels in Canada. They didn't want to sign us.
Everybody refused
Actually,
us.
the label that ended up signing us refused twice or 3 times, and came to see us play a bunch of times. And after,
I'd like to point out that the same thing happened to the Beatles.
yes, so
We harassed them so much.
After a while, we played enough shows and created a fan base and created a buzz around our hometown, and eventually, they realized that we had something going on, and then we started that, and then, you know, it took us like a year from there on to make the record, and when that came out, like, it didn't really pick up anywhere except for Canada and Japan, and so we just kept on touring, and 9 months later we started getting more and more stuff, so it was a long journey, and, you know, I mean, the first couple of years were spent, you know, working 2 jobs, paying for studio time, and, you know, touring in a shit van, and having a great time doing it.
It actually makes you appreciate so much more the fact that it wasn't that easy. A lot of people from the outside will assume that, hey, like, they're like an overnight sensation, but truthfully, you know, I think it's...
I mean, we are a
There's
sensation.
a little more than that, you know. We've been playing bands for like, I mean, we've been playing together for like 10, 11 years.
How'd you do that?
I don't know, I've been trying to find someone else, but, you know, I guess
we just feel...
we're in love. That's
How do you call it? It's comfortable.
The band bunkered down in their studio just outside of Toronto and recorded their debut album, No Pads, No Helmets, Just Balls, which was released in 2002. The album featured Good Charlotte's Joel Madden and Blink-182's Mark Hoppus and spawned the teen anthems I'm Just a Kid and I'd Do Anything.
I do anything just to fall asleep with you.
We just figured we wanted to have girls at our shows, so we wrote songs about them. Nothing wrong with that.
You know, if I compare it to most bands that are like in our genre, I'll find that we have less songs about girls. But that's just me.
The record is about, I don't know, like I said, growing up and about a teenage life, and girls is part of that. But there's also other stuff, like there's school, there's boys for me. There's parents, there's school, work, you know, school, there's like work, there's all, I mean, just people trying to bring you down, like wankers.
But it was these songs that garnered the band both fans and critics. They were attacked for their frivolous songs about girls, and the great debate about whether they were punk or not was officially on.
I'm not sure it really matters to our fans that much. I think it matters to like more like people in the media, people trying to, you know, decide what bands are and who they are. I think truthfully our fans don't care. I think they care about the fact that we write songs that mean something, that hit home, and I think that's what they and that when they come to our show they have a good time. They don't really care what you call it, I think.
I agree.
And it's
We
not
don't
a
care
debate.
either.
Yeah, it's not a debate we're doing anymore, you know? Like,
We play music, and there's guitars, drums, and vocals. That's all I can tell.
if you like it, it's cool. If you don't, there's plenty other music that you can listen to.
And here it goes. Just a kid and life is a nightmare.
Despite their quirky lyrics and upbeat music, the experience of recording was far different and proved yet another difficult learning curve for the young band.
It kind of sucked.
We didn't know what to expect. We didn't know what to do.
The first record we recorded in Toronto, it wasn't even Toronto, it was like the suburbs of Toronto, and it was like just so cold. We bunked up in one single room without windows for like, I don't know, 3 months, 4 months. And the recording was tedious. It was really hard. It was long, and we were very inexperienced, and it took a long time. And I think it was a little disappointing. You know, by the time we got out of there, we were like, yeah, we got a great record. The songs are great. We're really happy about it. But the experience itself didn't feel really good. So doing the second record just felt much better.
So with the second album now under their belts, how do the band feel today about their tumultuous debut?
I think we're happy. We're happy about it. You know, like I think you have to understand that when you make something, years later you'll probably not think that it's all great. But that's, you know, I think at the time it was great, and I think that it still is good. I mean, obviously we've grown out of that sound, and we've grown out of that record, and now, you know, the new record's more what we sound like now.
We still enjoy playing the songs.
But yeah, I think it's still a great record. I still think it did good for us, and I still think
I think we're extremely proud of what it did for
the
us.
songs were really came from the heart, and were really honest, and that's what mattered, you know. So it was true back then. It's like looking back, the famous analogy,
You guys should put it up.
looking back at your high school picture. You look back and you're like, man, what the hell was I thinking with my hair like that? But back then it was cool, so whatever.
Although the road to success was a very rocky one, Simple Plan's debut album has now sold more than 2 million copies worldwide. They picked up the Much Music People's Choice Award for Favourite Canadian Group 2 years in a row, became favourites on the US Bands Warped Festival, and shared the stage with everyone from Rancid to Aerosmith. Not bad for 5 kids who used to jam in their parents' garage.
Our parents were like, they were supportive from the start. You know, they helped us out. Chuck's parents actually let us practice in his basement for almost 3-4 years. Even more, like with Reset, he did it for a long time. And yeah, our parents were pretty supportive. Pierre's dad actually went with us on tour for a little bit, drove in Winnebago while we were on tour with Sugar Ray. They were supportive, but when you decide to, make that step and make it professionally, it's actually really hard for parents to accept. They're like, when are you going to get back to school? When are you going to do that,
Next week, Mom.
Mom, I'll think about it. And then eventually when it picks up and you're successful at it, it becomes,
And you're calling them from Japan.
you're like, Mom, I'm in Australia. It's kind of nice right now. I know it's snowing at home, but I'm in Australia chilling. And then they feel bad about it.
And then your mom like, what's chilling?